Hi, boys. Welcome back to another episode of the Fellowship of the Fleek Weekly Fantasy Football Recap Podcast. um, we've missed the last 2 or 3 weeks now. I think we had the bachelor party, so that one was kind of a wash. And then I don't know, just got really busy, so didn't get to do the episodes. But I'm really excited for today's episode. I put a lot of effort into the slides for this. It's I think the last episode before playoffs start, so should be in for a good one. Joining me with me this week, I got Jessie with the AMON RAW dawg the booty.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
Hello again.
Hello.
Back again sooner than I thought, but then again, there probably could have been a couple other people filled in the weeks that we missed, but that's all right. It's a good one to catch up on, and I'm happy to be here again to help catch you up because,
You got a lot to
uh,
say?
sorry.
You got a lot to say, or what?
Yeah, it's probably because it's my last hurrah before I miss the playoffs, so
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad to be here.
honestly, the main reason why I asked you to come on is because you made that comment about how you felt like your episode wasn't really yours because Shin
It
crashed
wasn't.
it.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, for anyone that's watching right now, if you remember, Shin crashed on maybe like 25,
20 minutes.
like 25% of the way in. Yeah. So it was really me and Shin sharing. All
Yeah.
everyone else got their own. So this is my own. Hopefully no one crashes. I mean, technically anyone probably could theoretically just like
Yeah.
use if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's
Um,
actually why I created a second voice channel called Podcast Room.
but
Just
they
they
still
still
come down.
could, yeah, they still could. So just hopefully nobody does that.
No
Okay,
Shin's ass. He might find a way. Thank God he's busy right now because he's probably
he
joining.
probably would. All right, so let's just catch up. I mean, I saw you through 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago at the bachelor party. Um,
Yeah.
maybe I know I think I asked every single person what they thought, what was their most fun part and whatnot, but I don't know. Maybe that would be a good place to start. Just what was your favorite part of the bachelor party?
Yeah. Bachelor party went well, man. It was fun. Very eventful. I really enjoyed the competition aspect. I'm a big fan of how you were able to make it where we were all involved and we had something to win. And for those who don't know, we had I think you covered it in Tyler's podcast, but we did we axed out the Mario Kart because we didn't have time, but we did the Halo Land party, the paintball, the Super Smash tournament, beer pong tournament, and then you added like a whole bunch of other random things like giving points for people that had a mustache, did a speech or a toast, um, and some other random things I can't remember. But yeah, it was great time, man. I think my favorite part of the weekend was the LAN party, just because it's like a pretty unattainable feat nowadays, especially with. I think even if you were in middle school or high school right now, it's still pretty unattainable. I mean, owning a console in itself is not as common, I would say, and having that many people willing to like bring all their shit to one place to do something, I don't think that opportunity comes often, if ever. And so kudos to you spending all the time and the money to make that happen, because I know seeing you set it up and all that seemed like a lot of work, but I know you had a lot of help with that too. So it was nice that you had the support around you with like Mason and Dom and whoever else is helpful in setting all that up. So that was my favorite part. Oh, and on top of the fact that my team won the
Undefeated.
we were undefeated in like it wasn't not really the preliminary rounds, but that's kind of how I saw it in a way. But we won like the first phase one, I
Yeah.
guess, which was like the small team
Yeah.
stuff. So shout out Oddball Constructs, the best. That's what I call it. I mean, you named our group chat that the what is it, the
The bachelor party.
after party group text, but that's really a homage to me,
What was your guys' team
Nathan,
name?
and Luis. We were like the golden piggies or something like that. I forgot. So we thought of like three. One of us did the noun, one of us did the adjective, and one of us did the color, I think.
uh,
It was like the crazy golden piggies, or something like
Something
that. But
like that. Yeah.
yeah, but we killed it. So, and it was funny because like when we were doing the free for alls, um, I was kind of planting a seed, or they were too, because I was playing them against them, and I was like, look, like I know I'm killing y'all right now, and I'm going crazy in these free for alls. Like I was destroying people. Right? I think I ended up like second or third overall in that, maybe third.
I think you're third.
I was like, yeah, I was like, just sit tight because this is gonna set us up to be in the same team, for the team round. So and it did, so it worked out well. But yeah,
Nice.
it was a great time, man. I enjoyed it.
Do you feel at all like you had nostalgia for like when we were kids playing Halo? Did that feeling come back at all?
Not really. I think because we played a little bit of Halo when Halo came out again. I think like
Infinite?
they really yeah, the Halo Infinite came. So that kind of that made it where it wasn't as like nostalgic just because we kind of broke that ice again recently.
Hmm.
For even we only played for a couple months, if not even more than a month.
I think it was like a
Uh,
week.
yeah, it was really short, but it was fun either way though. It was good. I mean, I yeah, we spent a lot of time playing Halo back in the day, so it was nice. It was nice to be good
That's what I
though.
was just about to ask you. How did it feel to dominate?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, man. I wasn't expecting that. But I thought I was gonna be good enough, like kind of in the middle, but to go
Yeah,
crazy, like I was going crazy, man.
yeah,
But that doesn't help that like half the people like barely
yeah.
played or
I
didn't know
know.
what I was. But it was still fun kicking ass either way. But um, yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
surprised at all because I mean I expected Daniel to be great, and Daniel was second place at the first LAN party, so I knew one,
Mm,
he had the experience, and two, he's refreshed, and then I was
yeah,
pretty confident you'd be right there, even though you hadn't played in forever, because I feel like Halo is such a weird shooter compared to Call of Duty, which is I think more of the model of most shooters. So I feel
yeah.
like most people have experience with something, either Call of Duty directly or something like Call of Duty, and I knew that you'd perform really well and it would come back quick. I didn't expect Mason to be where
Oh
he
man,
was.
he was tough. I played him like a couple times actually. He was tough.
Yeah. He I can't remember. I talked to him before. I think he played some Halo as a kid, but it wasn't like the amount that we did. And then at the
Uh,
LAN party, he was okay. Like he from then till now, it improved a lot. I feel like it
he
seemed like he
practiced,
was practicing or
no,
something. Yeah.
he practiced,
No,
and
I
that
don't
I
think he
mean
did.
he had but he was going
Yeah, he was
off.
going ham.
Yeah, he was annoying to play against, just because he was like making it hard for me to dominate at some
Yeah.
points. So
Yep.
yeah.
Um yeah, and like yeah, just my thoughts on it was super super fun. I would love to do kind of like a yearly land party type thing. I was talking to Dom about potentially trying to get like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 going as well. There's some more challenges with just the software and how that would work in 2024 to know if it really be feasible, but
Mm.
I'll definitely take a swing at it. So, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, probably cool, man.
yeah, 2025, maybe early 2026 we'll do something again. So, we have
Yeah.
that to look forward to. Um yeah, still going through the footage. Honestly, I've barely even, it's such a daunting task, and I will definitely put some time to it this weekend. Um but like actually we can kind of go into that. So I guess this weekend Vicky's at her bachelorette. Um
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
she's in Puerto
Well, you
Rico.
got a lot of time then.
Yeah, but um tomorrow morning, Mason and I are watching Two Towers Extended Edition, so that'll be like 4 hours.
Dude,
um,
uncut footage is sometimes sorry to sidetrack you real quick, but like I know you talked about movies a lot with Tyler in your last podcast, but dude, the uncut versions of all those Lord of the Rings movies and The Hobbits, sometimes you kind I don't know if you've seen them, but like it's and those are like some of my favorite movies. It kind of sucks that they had to cut some of those scenes out because some of them are epic as
mhm.
like you it's surprising that they had to choose those. But anyways, go on.
No, I was just about to say, honestly, I've owned the extended editions for years, and I've actually never watched all of
Mhm.
them. I think I watched Fellowship Extended Edition with Joji when we lived together, and I was like, let's do a marathon. We watched
Mhm.
Fellowship, and then we just never got around to the other two. So I've actually seen the Fellowship Extended Edition now twice ever, and I don't think I've rewatched Two Towers, I think multiple times because it used to come on TV a lot, but I've
Mhm.
actually only seen Return of the King once. So I'm pretty
Bruh.
excited to for this rewatch because I know we're gonna actually finish it this time. So the other thing too is I don't know Lord of the Rings that well like you do, so when I'm watching it, I have no idea which scenes are extended only and which ones aren't.
Oh, you'll
Um,
know, man. I think you'll kind of know just being like, bro,
nah, man, I won't
I
know.
haven't know this thing, really,
I
dude.
don't think
Oh, man.
so. I mean,
It'll be a good watch for you. It'll be like kind of watching it all over again then.
a little bit, yeah. And I don't know if we've actually specifically talked about this, but we got a new TV too, so I'm excited to watch it
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah.
that as well.
Yeah, your 77-inch.
Yeah, we were planning on upgrading next year around spring because that's when like the best pricing for the previous model TVs is, and then
Yeah.
serendipitously the TV, our current TV, like just like shat its pants on I think the Saturday or Sunday. I think Sunday of Black Friday. Yeah, so
Mm,
my siblings and Mason were hanging out at our house. We're doing like a sleepover after Thanksgiving, and so the night before we were watching Arcane, I was showing Chantel and Oshin Arcane for the first time. Me,
yeah.
Mason, and Prem already seen it. So we watched the first two episodes. They really liked it, and then we were gonna try and watch the third episode on Sunday morning, and then the TV just wasn't working. And then I called Vicky, and Vicky and I like she had already planned that this was gonna be something we were gonna purchase, and so basically it just happened to be like 4 or 5 months sooner than we originally planned. Because if we weren't going to get it today, like that at that day, like before the Black Friday prices were over, then we probably would have had like we would have been kind of screwed because we would have either been out of a TV until spring, or we would
Yeah.
have to settle on something not as nice, um, but like at a different price point. So
Well, it worked
I
out
was,
then, man.
it worked out really nice, and I'm really happy with the TV. Went from a top of the line plasma from 8 years ago to a top of the line OLED.
I love, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and the thing is, you guys make a lot of use of it because you all watch a lot of stuff, so it
yeah.
makes it worth it. So
I've
you'll
been
make
going
sure.
down like the home theater tech tree. 'Cause you know how like into technology I was when we were roommates and stuff. Like I was always watching like tech videos and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I was
Yeah.
really into tech from like l- late like my senior year of high school. I think that was when I first like put a graphics card in a computer. That was to play StarCraft 2. So from that
Mhm.
point until probably like when crypto started becoming really expensive around like 2018, that was when I
Yeah.
kind of stopped following consumer technology as closely as I used to.
Oh, I thought
Um,
you were. I kind of assumed you were still on it, watching
no,
that Marquise guy. I think his name is right.
yeah, I mean, I still watch a lot. I still watch MKBHD. I still watch Linus Tech Tips. But I would say like I'm kind of a casual fan. Like I'm not in the weeds as much as I used to be. But recently I've been getting
Mm,
a lot of like infatuation with like home smart home stuff and home theater stuff. And I feel like
yeah.
it's kind of like when I was in college, I was in that phase of my life where like gaming was something that I was really, really passionate about, and I always wanted to know what the best gaming technology was. And I feel like
Yeah.
now we're at a point where we don't really need the best technology to game. Like most of the games are low power. I have a
Yeah.
PS5 now. Like I'm going to be console gaming probably 50-50 with PC gaming. So I feel
Mhm.
like I'm just not as like interested in gaming tech as much as I used to be. So now it's like the other stuff that's tech. So I've been like I did probably like 2 months of research into what TV we wanted. And actually the funny thing is right before we started this episode, I was watching the WAN show, which is the Linus Tech Tips weekly podcast. I still watch that.
Mhm.
And he was talking about his home theater setup, and then he was talking about how basically like the best possible TV that you could buy for at home for panel quality is the TV that I bought. So that was
That's
kind of
awesome.
cool to see that like my research was validated by what he was saying too.
Yeah.
And
It's your
so
idol, bro. Linus.
yeah, my boy Linus. And yeah, so I know you've been to our place, but we have like a starter surround sound setup at our house. So
Yeah.
and I know you didn't like watch a movie or anything, but when I was watching Top Gun, like the sound system was going crazy, and yeah, just like I don't know how we got on this tangent. Oh, Lord of the Rings movie, I don't know, but the sound system for this movie and the display is going to be great. Um, and yeah, I've just been more infatuated with that technology. So yeah,
I hope you enjoy it, man. I think you were on the topic of that
What
you
we're
were
doing
on.
this weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we're gonna watch Lord of the Rings, and then one of our friends through work that Nathan knows. Actually, Nathan is the reason she works at our company. She's having a baby shower on Saturday, so then I gotta go to the baby
Mhm.
shower, and then after that, I'm kind of free. But then I hit up one of my other friends to ask him if he wanted to watch the UFC fight, because there's this guy, I can't remember his name, but I just randomly saw a clip of him. He's like a Japanese MMA star, and
Mm.
they were comparing him to like obviously some anime like character, and I thought it was interesting. And I was like, I'd like to see him
Right.
fight because it's his UFC debut.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, and I saw a clip of him like going crazy. Maybe at the end before we do the staying on Discord, I could show you that guy that's gonna fight. And then
Sure.
actually, there's something else I wanted to show you too.
All right.
So
Let's do it.
we'll do that before we play.
All right.
But yeah, so I am planning on spending some time looking through the videos, but I also am low key kind of busy, even though I'm not. And then Vicky
When is
comes back on Sunday. I can't
oh,
remember
okay.
exactly what time,
When did she leave?
or is it
Where'd she
Monday?
go?
Shit, I don't even remember. I gotta double
Bro,
check.
you need to pick her up, don't you?
Yeah, I'm picking her up. I just don't remember exactly what time it is.
Where did she go? When did she leave?
She went on Wednesday to Puerto Rico.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah,
Oh, so she's already been gone.
yeah. She's been gone, and my sister got there yesterday. What's
Oh,
today? Friday?
nice.
Yeah, she got there yesterday.
Oh, that's why Mason's coming over tomorrow.
Yes,
She's
exactly. It's perfect
she's here.
timing.
I got you. Oh,
Yep, yep.
cool. That's
It's a
cool.
little bro
That's good
hangout.
then.
Um,
Nice.
and yeah, so yeah, I'm hoping she has a great bachelorette. I already got some pictures and videos. Looks like they're having a good time.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
We're excited for the wedding.
Yep. I'm excited too, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the league. I think that was a good catch up. And let's see. Actually, wait, man. I didn't ask you about. Did I already ask you about you? What's up with? I guess I asked you about the bachelor part, but what's going on with you just in your life since then?
Dude, nothing really. It's the same. Um, Guys growing. I just came back from a work trip about 2 hours ago. Went to we had like our team meeting. There's like 10 of us. And our field director, he lives in a beach town in between Destin and Panama City. So we were there for the last couple of days. It was cool. It was like a weird vibe though, because it was kind of empty, and I'm sure during the summer season it's pretty busy, but it was like it looked very bougie. Like it was like the bougiest beach town I've ever been to.
Yeah.
You can tell there's a lot of wealthy and like affluent people that live in that area. Like maybe he was telling us like there's some celebrities that live there, like Chris Stapleton. I think Taylor Swift has a home there. And some other stuff. It was nice though. It was just like it just felt um
Out of
empty and
place.
really yeah, it felt out of place because normally beach towns are kind of like
Yeah.
not the nicest, but this was like a really nice beach town. So it was cool. I enjoyed it. It was a good
Yeah.
time. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to NOLA next week, and I'm so excited for that. Only because I get to eat char grilled oysters, which are like my one of my favorite foods, and bread pudding, which is my other favorite foods, one of my other favorite foods. So, but sucks being away from home. But if I do get to eat that, then it's like the small silver lining to
Are
it.
you gonna
So,
get the bananas Foster thing? What is that called again?
uh, well, there is there's some places have like bananas Fosters, but like
I was telling you
some places
when I went last. That play they light that shit on fire. I think I was telling you. I sent a picture of it. Joji and
have
Nor
it
took
banana
us.
Foster bread pudding, like a
I
combination.
don't think so. I'll find it. I'll send it to you.
Sometimes they have that too, like in some they'll
I
kind of mix the two, but
It was just it's a place in the French Quarter, and like they have some story about it. I don't know if they claim to be the ones who invented it or just like they've had it for a long time or something. But if you order it, it's like designed for two people. Like it's kind of a lot, but they make it on the table and they like flambe it right in front of you.
oh, interesting. Yeah, I can't remember what that was, but
I'll
um,
send it to you after.
let me know if you find out about it
Yeah.
again, if you remember. Yeah,
Um
that's it, man. Nothing new. It's the same. I was
yeah.
on the pod not too long ago, so
Yeah. The other thing
okay.
that you brought up with Nola, I was already told you, but I was listening to the Club Shay Shay podcast with Keith Lee, and
Oh yeah.
he ranked the top three food cities in America as number one was Nola, two was Houston, and three was Chicago.
I hold like I don't watch Keith Lee stuff. I told you he seems like a cool guy, but he's not my flavor, I guess. But I wholeheartedly agree with that list. I mean, I would. and if I think LA is a good, I think you have to put LA and New York in there, but I love going to Chicago for the food because I used to go there a lot from my work previously. And then Houston, I'm always there. And New Orleans, man. New Orleans food is just like so good. I can
Yeah,
eat so many oysters. I can sit at the bar and eat like if I had a lot of money to spend, I could just keep eating oysters and I'd probably rack up like a couple $100 because those things are expensive.
yeah. And
Yeah,
then
so yeah.
and then well, so one of the caveats to the way he ranked his top three was he ranked it based on also the accessibility and ease of getting good food. So I think his issue with
Mm,
New York and Atlanta
yeah.
was he was saying that you have to too many of the places are like you have to know someone who knows someone to like get to the really good spots. And
Oh,
there's like
really?
yeah, there's a lot to sift through. So I think with these three cities it's basically just like you have a much higher chance of getting great food if you just kind of go anywhere.
I that's a good factor because yeah, for me, like we talked about Franklin's in Austin, and like I know how much you love Franklin's and barbecue and stuff, but and I'm like a semi lover of barbecue. I like barbecue, but I never seek it. But bro, like if I have to wait 2 hours in line for barbecue, to me, I'd rather just eat Rudy's at that point, and I love Rudy's. So
I feel
like,
you.
yeah, like it almost like the taste diminishes as like the time like or the effort
Effort
or the
for whatever it
you need.
is.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, or like give me McDonald's instead of taking me to like a fancy burger place if I have to wait in line, you know. So
Yeah.
I need to eat burgers, so
And then
we
he
talked about it
also
now.
he also said Dallas is one of a very highly underrated food city.
I'm surprised about that because I don't I don't agree because I feel like there's nothing beats on like I'm trying to take Carolyn on a date tomorrow and for lunch and I was before the pod I was like scrolling trying to
I
find
mean, y'all
like
have Mr. Max.
dude, Mr. Max is only open for like dinner, I believe. So
Yeah, but isn't it
uh,
like isn't it the highest rated restaurant on Yelp or something?
it is. But I'm sure there's a form
Yeah.
of Mr. Max in Houston. I'm sure there's one in like every city. That's just our version, and I love Mr. Max, but
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, cool. Now we can go ahead and get into the pod.
let's
Or
do
to
it.
the league, I mean, to the league.
Yeah,
Okay. So there's a lot of different content for this week, and just because obviously we didn't meet the last 3 weeks, some of the
yeah,
segments I didn't include just because I didn't have the time to like fully bake them.
yeah,
But it'll kind of make sense as we go. So
yeah. We didn't, and yeah, I'm sure we didn't even get surveyed, so I'm sure it's like
exactly, I
for
don't have the
the
survey stuff
yeah,
in. I'm gonna get caught
yeah.
up on all the superlatives after this week. But
Okay, yeah, no
so
problem.
I got a graph here that kind of shows where people like over the last 3 weeks. So week 10 was the one I did with Tyler, and then 11, 12, 13 is, the last 3 weeks. And you can see
All right,
kind of where people were and like where they've gone in the standing. So an up or a down doesn't necessarily mean a win or a loss. It's
yeah,
based on standings for this
yeah,
graph.
sure.
So some of the things I wanted to kind of call out, Nathan and Shin both went 0 and 3 over the last 3 weeks. So maybe they get to enjoy the fact that there hasn't been a podcast, so they haven't had to get blasted out. But now it's the time. So they both went 0 and 3, and Nathan dropped from first place down to fourth, and Shin dropped from second down to sixth.
Good for him. I'm glad. I know he's gonna say, "Oh, balance, all that bullshit." So I'll throw that in for him. You're welcome, Shin.
The other thing is, you were on a 4 win streak up until the
I
week
was.
before, and then your
I
first
was.
loss was to Prame, or not first loss, but the loss that kind of snapped that winning streak was Prame, which is just kind of funny because he's already eliminated from the playoffs anyways,
Yeah, he went
and that
crazy
might
on
have
me.
really screwed you over, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
The other thing is Joji was on a 3 loss streak up until last week, and then he beat Chase.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, and then other than that, it looks like Chase and Joji are kind of just fighting amongst themselves. Um, and then Tyler looks like he's climbing back up because Tyler was at the top of the league for a minute, like for
Yeah.
4 weeks. Um, yeah. Are you gonna finally give my team that respect they deserve, or are you gonna
No.
still say Nathan's better than me?
I don't
That
know
was
about the
that
whole
was that was what you said most of the time was that
yeah,
Nathan's team is better than mine.
yeah, I don't know about Nathan team better than yours, but I still don't respect your team. I think it's full of shit. It's a whole bunch of
Okay,
lucky.
we'll get into that. We'll
I
get into
made a tweet
that.
about this last night, so
Yeah,
yeah.
save that for later. All right,
All right.
so there's some more general notes. I think I already covered this actually, so we can skip that. So here's a little bit more detail on me. I have some info on you, but I'm hoping you can maybe just talk to yours when we get to it. But
Yeah,
I'm on a 3-win streak, so I'm 3-0 in the last. I think Mason also is a 3-0 for the last 3 weeks. Um,
yeah, no lie.
and this third bullet point, over the last 3 weeks, my team has outperformed their projection by a combined 147 points, which is pretty crazy. Um,
I mean, that kind of explains a lot of what I was saying last night, right?
yeah, it's a
I
lot.
guess I'll use that as one of my talking
You
points
can,
then.
you can.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed about my team now, actually, I'll talk about that later. I had two biggest blowouts. I beat Nathan by 28. That wasn't one of them. I beat Prane by 110, which is, I think he literally just didn't look at his lineup. He had like, I think he had one person out and one person on bye. And then Shin, I beat by 64, and he was actually trying. So that was just disgusting. Um, and then
Yeah.
the margin that I beat Prane by was bigger than the total amount of points that Nathan, Chase, and Shin scored that week. I thought that was interesting.
Bro, that's
You look
insane.
sick sick hearing all that.
That's so much crap, bro.
All right, so my only team changes over the last 2 weeks. I've been pretty quiet. I added the Washington defense and dropped the Jets. I added Washington actually the week before they played Dallas,
Hmm.
thinking that they were gonna go crazy because our offense is in the shitter, and then we ended up somehow winning that game. And it was, as much as I want us to tank, that was probably the win I was really satisfied with getting, just to because I know all these Washington fans that have been getting beat by us for like the last decade, and they finally like all of a sudden they're really good now, and they had their first chance to come beat us, and then they lose like that. It's just too funny.
I don't know why they were trying so hard. That and the Giants
The
game, man.
Giants we should have lost, man. That wasn't worth the win. Um, just
I mean, they're good.
That Washington win felt good, but yeah, the Giants win, we shouldn't have got that one. Um, and then over here I have a graph of the PF just from week 10 till now. So
Mm.
you can kind of see everyone. It's kind of interesting. Everyone kind of goes up at roughly the same rate. And then even I was too, and then all of a sudden these past 2 weeks I'm on some other shit.
Crazy. Yeah.
Here's what I got for you. I didn't go as detailed, but you can see the thing that kind of jumps out is you've made a lot more moves on your team over the last 3 weeks. So you want to talk about any of these moves, what went into them? So these are all the people that you added, and then the ones that crossed off are ones that you added but then dropped afterward at some point.
Yeah. Um, I'm a very avid player in these fantasy leagues. I always trade, I'm always active on the waivers and whatever, but um yeah, I mean, I picked up Thielen like really early, and I think he was still in the IR whenever I picked him up. I had a feeling that when Bryce Young came back, I felt like that was a good sign, and he's been playing decent, I think, enough. And Thielen is now the number one now that Deontay Johnson is suffering and not even playing on Baltimore and getting mad about it. Picked up Keenan Allen, just because I think the Bears like fired their OC, I think, and I think things are looking a little bit better in terms of like they're actually playing better. I don't know if they're not winning, but they're playing better. Um, because like I was so sick of having DJ Moore because he was getting like no targets when I traded Shin for him, and then now he's playing well too. So I think like the whole offense is just like kind of on a better note now. Picked up Aiden O'Connell because
I am holding all the
I think they play,
QBs.
yeah, but yeah, you have you're like keeping Jameis and Russell Wilson hostage for no reason. You have like four QBs, but and I picked up Aiden O'Connell because I think he was playing pretty well against the Chiefs. I believe they played last week, and they're playing like a sorry team this week. So I was like, it's worth a shot, and I needed someone because my boy Bo Nix on bye. And I dropped a whole bunch of people that I felt like. Well, I guess I picked up. Wait, I forgot. No, the. I have Thielen again. Is that what
No,
happened?
no. So you originally had Thielen, and then you dropped
Oh,
him, and then you picked him back up.
Okay, okay, good, good. That's what I thought. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
him
I
again.
didn't cross off
But
the
yeah,
ones
no,
on here for the ones you re-added. I didn't feel
I
like
got
it.
you. I got you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I dropped everyone else just because they're worth dropping, I guess. I kind of feel like I shouldn't have dropped Auden.
Yeah, I
In
was
my other
curious about that because
in
he'd
my
been
other league, I
going
dropped.
ham.
Yeah, in my other league, well, he hasn't been the last couple weeks because Mike Evans is back, but I think Mike Evans is hurting again, like hamstring stuff again.
Mm.
So I might need to pick him up again. But I don't know who to drop. I might drop this dude Sincere McCormick. I picked him up because
You
I saw
liked his
some stuff.
name?
No, that too, but I saw something on Reddit on Twitter um, about like if you missed out on Garendo, Sincere McCormick might be a good stash, and I was like, fuck it. So I just picked him up. Um, yeah, man. Yeah, my
Nice.
team's so I'm so annoyed with my team. And last night, Lions played Packers, and it was like a high scoring game. And I got like, did I get double? I got 7.8 points from AMON RAW. So I don't know how he's a number two receiver in fantasy right now because it sure doesn't feel like it. Because I have like some weeks where I got 20, but I got a damn lot where it's like 5, 9, 10, 7. So it's annoying, but yeah, man, I don't understand how he doesn't get more targets. He got 6 targets, 5 he received for 43 yards, 1 carry for 10 yards in a game that went 34-31. Don't make sense. So yeah, just hope that I'm not. I hope I don't finish last at this point. I got to avoid the dance. But yeah, man, you should put the dance on the pod. But that's kind of messed up. You probably should. That's gonna go
Yeah,
on forever.
I don't want it out there forever, but yeah.
It
You
was
know,
good though. Green did a good job though, I'd
yeah.
say.
For next year I was thinking this is like not necessarily like when I say thinking like oh I'm gonna do this. I was just really had the idea and I was wondering about it, but what would you think about like a tiered punishment system for like bottom four that like gets worse as you get down to the last place?
I think that's fair. Not
So
bottom
it's
four, bottom three or something maybe. But being
well,
the
season's
fourth
not over yet.
out of 10, like being 6 or being 7, that's not like a
Okay,
terrible like
bottom three.
yeah, bottom 3 or bottom 2 or I don't know, like because in a 10-man league, like
I know I think bottom three is good because if it's only bottom two, then like in that last week's game for the eighth, ninth, and 10th place, only the ninth and 10th place game will matter.
oh
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can
I
make
see.
set you can make 7 and 8 matter by if one of them gets punished and the other one doesn't.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so
Yeah.
bottom three's cool. Yeah,
I
I'm cool with
I
that.
would really like to do the Waffle House challenge for next year. I've always seen it
Yeah,
on
I'm down
social
for that.
media, and I feel like it's a really funny one.
I'm telling you, bro, I'd be out of that hell
You'd
in
be out
like
of that bitch in like a
an
couple
hour.
hours.
In an hour, bro. I'd be like, give me like 23 waffles right now. Bro, I'd have a good time. I'd have a good time.
Oh man. You think you can
I
still
could
eat like that? Those waffles are they're very thin, but
feel
they're pretty
thin,
wide.
wide. Yeah. I think I could do. Man, I'd probably start feeling like shit after like 10 though. But I could do 10 probably easily.
If I'm really being honest with myself, I think if I had to do that challenge, I think I would be in there for like 4 hours.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Boo boo in between type stuff.
Yeah. Just fast. I don't know. Sometimes fasting's bad because I guess they say your stomach kind of shrinks, right? So like you don't want to fast, but you do want to be kind of hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd be down for a Waffle House as a potential Waffle House challenge to be the potential
yeah.
punishment.
And then like the third worst punishment could be like something not that bad. So it's just like
Yeah,
something that like more is like slightly annoying or troll than anything.
yeah, yeah. I'm down for that, man.
Cool. All right, so I got the waivers and free agency out. This was a much busier week than I was actually expecting because I feel like the fantasy football chat has been kind of quiet, and
Mhm.
now that we're getting close to playoffs, a lot of things are kind of set in stone. So I feel like there's not as much. I thought but I mean, obviously not. I mean, a lot of people are. I say a lot of people are making moves. I feel like you're actually no. There's a lot of different people on here.
Mhm.
Is there a Nathan made a? Is there anyone that didn't make a move this week?
No, there's a few. I mean, some people tried, but they didn't get. I mean, I think the most active people were probably
No,
me,
but
Shane,
see,
and Mason, Nathan.
I
I
think
think we're like the four most
Chase.
active.
I think Chase is the only one who didn't make
No,
a
and
move.
Joji too. Joji didn't.
Oh, Chase and Joji, but the other eight I
Mm-hmm.
think did.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. I mean, and Chase and Joji are in second to last and third to last, so it kind of makes
Bro,
sense. And
I had to freaking remind, like,
yeah,
indirectly remind Brain to pick up Garendo because I
yeah,
knew if he wasn't watching, which it kind of felt like he wasn't watching anymore, Garendo was gonna fall to someone
he's
that
gonna fall to Nathan.
shouldn't have actually the number one waiver, right? So like,
Yeah.
got him, and he had made the most sense to get him because he had CMC. So it's like,
Yes.
bro,
Yes.
pick him up. So
I'm glad you
yeah,
did too because
you're welcome, man.
I think also I think I might be projecting that the league I thought was going to be quiet. I think it's just because I was not really paying as much attention to it. Even though I was in first, I just feel like I had a lot going on and my team was just going ham without me even doing much. So I was like not even really focusing on it. And when you texted me, I had no like I didn't have any waivers in at all, and then I saw he was one and I was two, and then I was like, okay, well if he doesn't get it, then I guess I am. So I put the waiver in, and then I texted him. I said, hey, there's like, did you put any waivers in? And he said no, and I was like, okay, well, in a couple hours, you need to get Isaac Garendo, and then he said
Yeah,
okay, and then at that
like,
point I was like, I'm just gonna leave it. I told him, and it's up to him if he does it, and if he doesn't, then it was gonna
yeah,
go to me.
bro, it's not even so. Who are we gonna drop?
I think Cedric Tillman.
Um,
Yeah, I've been holding
yeah,
him on my bench for a while.
I would have
And
been so pissed if Isaac Garendo fell to you, man. I was like, your team's already so freaking OP and lucky. And then now you're gonna luckily get Isaac Garendo, who like in other leagues, everyone's spending all the fab. Like
yeah,
I literally
actually,
put
yeah,
like $40 of fab
yeah.
on him. I still lost in my other league. So it's like, bruh,
That's actually a
you just
perfect segue because I was thinking about it earlier and I was like, let me wait till now. But we're gonna do Fab next year for sure. Can you go ahead and just explain it to the few folks on the like I know Mason and Praying probably have no idea what Fab is, and then there are a couple others that may have heard of it or maybe don't have it either. So how about you just explain Fab real quick
yeah,
and
I'll do
why
my
you
best.
like it compared to what we have
Yeah,
now.
sure. I'll do my best. So like it has its pros and cons, but Fab is essentially the replacement for rolling waivers. Rolling waivers is where what we're doing right now, which is the default typically in most home leagues, where you have a number and you take turns. So like if you get what you want or you make a claim and you get it, then you fall back to the bottom of the list. So if you don't make any claims, you slowly make your way back up to getting that first priority, which is why Prem had the number one waiver at the perfect time because this is probably like one of the most clutch pickups of the year. But Fab is a
And sorry,
different option.
before you even go into there,
Yeah.
what you had told me earlier that I really like, that I think summarizes rolling waivers a lot really well, is you're incentivized to do nothing, which is less fun in a league,
Yeah, so I told
basically.
Michael this weeks ago when I was getting upset that I was losing a lot was because the reason why I like Fab better than rolling waivers, which I'll explain Fab in a second, is because yeah, I feel like there is strategy to it, but like it is like for people that are just kind of like sitting idle, they get like I keep saying the word lucky, but it's like they get lucky because like they're not doing anything, whether it's because they need to or they just like not paying attention because they're in other leagues or just don't care as much, or they're like strategically just like I'm waiting for the right person. But then, like, how would you know? You know, what I mean, like, you could be waiting for the right person the whole way, and some people are gonna blow up. Like, I think Kyron Williams was like last year. Like, you had to have picked him up early, and he was a league winner last year. You know what I mean? No one knew if
Hmm.
he was gonna be, but then you just kind of like you blow your waiver and hope for the best. Other people like Tyrone Tracy. Um, like you just don't know. That's why you have to just like you have to like take a chance and take a stab and hope for the best. But for Fab, it's a little different because like it doesn't matter what order you're in. There's no order. It's like if you're down to put money, if you have the money to pay for it and you're willing to put down the money to hopefully outbid your other counterparts, then you win what you want. And I think that's how it should be, where like you put your money where your mouth is. You don't just like get lucky and be like, oh, look at me, I'm number one, and look, I can get the pick of the crop or whatever, right? So it's like yeah. That's why, like in my other league where I have Fab, people that had the most Fab to just use right before playoffs, they just used all of it, man. I saw like literally like out of the 12 of us, 11 of us put like Fab on Isaac Garendo, and it was like 50, 45, 30. Like it was like a ton. I put like the rest that I had because Yeah, why not at this point? So yeah, I just like that better. I think it's a little bit more like there's a little more strategy about saving money and like spending a certain amount. Like for example, like do you spend $2? Like do you think other people are going to spend $1 and just hope for the best? Yeah, but Fab is where you have a pocket, like a wallet, like you have like $100, for example, is like kind of the standard, and you put a certain amount of money each week towards a player, and then the highest bidder gets that player. So it's really simple. And then like you can choose to put like I think um you can put like $1 up to $100. You set like as a commissioner, you set the rules on like the amount of money you have and how much what's the minimum you need to put and stuff like that. But yeah,
And
it's cool.
yeah, and if it's not obvious, it's fake money. It's not real money.
Yeah, yeah.
Some leagues have a
Dude,
buyback to get in more, but I don't understand that well enough, and it seems kind of cheesy to me, like pay to win slightly.
yeah, I wouldn't want to
I
do
wouldn't
that.
want to
That's
do
so
that either, yeah, because not everyone, yeah, I just don't want to do
you
that.
can trade and also you can trade Fab too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can put like if I like for
Oh
example like
shit.
if I wanted to trade like for Saquon and I was like, hey Michael, I'll give you Kamara, but I'll also give you like $40 of Fab. Yeah,
Okay. I that actually
yeah.
seems really cool. So the one thing about Fab that I feel like the way it worked in the one league I did it in that I didn't like was that if oh damn, Vicky's calling me. Let me pause this real quick. I just want to answer. Okay, I'm gonna pause
Okay.
the recording. So, yeah, the way that I believe Fab worked when I did it was like if let's say like we both are trying to get Isaac Arendo and you put in $20 and I put in $40, it would take the $40 as the auction. And I feel
Yeah.
like the way that I would prefer it working is like if you put in 20 and I put in 40, it would give it to me, but it would give it to me at 21. That's what I would
Mm,
prefer because I feel like
mm,
it's especially like when the money doesn't actual like have actual value, it's like fake value. I feel like it's at least hard for me to like figure out in my brain how much a dollar is worth, especially like on a first year thing. So the reason I like the way that I just kind of said is that like it won't punish you for being too aggressive, but like if I put 40 and someone puts 38, then yeah, like I'm gonna have to pay 39 to get them. And I said I would. So I don't know what you think
mm.
about that.
I like that's a good idea. You should email that to Sleeper. See
Well,
if they'll
well,
integrate. I don't think that's like a thing that they can do.
no, but as commissioner, I think I can just manually fix people's fabs after.
Bro, that's a lot of work, my guy.
I would
But yeah,
do
if
it.
you want to. Yeah. I mean that's
Yeah.
good. I think the thing is with Fab, yeah, it is hard to kind of put a price point, but like I think my algorithm on my Twitter account has it like I see fantasy football stuff a lot, on
Mhm.
top of the other football stuff, but they usually it's a percent. Like people will say like you need to put like 5% on
Yeah.
Thielen or something, or like you need to put like like they'll say like oh dump like 60% on Isaiah Likely or whatever after week one. You know what I mean? Like so it's like whatever that your
Yeah.
max is or how much you have in store at the beginning at the start. Um and that's what it is. There's like some type of value
Yeah.
on players. So but yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like the idea that you have there.
Cool. So we'll definitely be doing that next year.
Let's do it.
All right, league standings. Yeah. So the only thing that I really called out that I noticed that was really interesting is that at this point now, my PF is so high. I have more PF than the majority of the league has max PF. And I'm only off from Tyler by 10. That's crazy, bro. I've never scored this many points in a league ever relative to everyone else.
Every time I look at my freaking app and I see you scoring 150s to like 200s, I'm like, what kind of league is this? It's almost like you're playing against like people that don't know how to play fantasy, which I know is not true, but it feels that way. And I'm one of the people that, for some reason, I can barely even get over triple digits every week. So and I feel like that team's not terrible, but they're just not doing good.
I'm just having a
So
really, really good year, man. This is yeah.
you just have a lot of good players, and those good players are like I told you, they're. Is it my time to talk about that real quick,
No,
or
no, no.
was this?
We'll get to it. We'll get
Okay.
to it.
Okay.
The only other thing is that yeah, I'm second lowest in PA, but my points are so crazy. You
It
can't
doesn't
put that.
matter,
It doesn't
man.
even
No one can
matter.
beat you in your freaking scoring 150 to
Yeah.
200.
Yeah, I think
It's
180 is
insane.
the highest I've scored. That was against Shin.
It's sickening, man. That's like so bad.
Yeah.
That's called what's the word for that? When it's like there's like a oh, there's a term for this when there's like it's imbalance in like I don't even know the word. Like it doesn't matter. But yeah, there's like it feels imbalanced, but I mean it is what it is. Your team's just going crazy. I mean you have
Yeah.
like guys that can give you 30 points every week. So
Yeah. All right. Okay.
yes.
Here we go. All right. Is so the what prompted this slide is that we were playing PUBG last night and Jesse went on a rant tirade about how I'm lucky. I wish we had that recorded because it was really funny. He was very passionate about it. So I thought let's bring up some of the car facts and see. We'll put it out there for the league, and we can you guys can tell me what you think. I mean, I already know the majority of y'all are just gonna say that I'm lucky, but maybe a couple of y'all will give me some credit. So I got week.
There's credit. I told you I gave you
Yeah,
credit on some of them, but there's a lot of luck too. And
yeah.
fantasy, at the end of the day, fantasy is very lucky. Like you have to be very lucky to be have good weeks against the people that are not having good weeks.
Hmm.
And being in like matchups that just are very favorable. And you can never predict them because our teams are fake and you never know how in real life games are gonna happen, right? So
Yeah. All right,
yeah.
so I got week 11 up here, and I'm gonna
Um,
bring up 12 and 13 kind of individually. But week 11, I didn't, I tried to put some of my notes on here, but I didn't have time to go through all of them, so I'm gonna be doing some of it live. But what I really feel like about this week is that Jonnu Smith is actually the only luck-based points from this week. Um, and if I scored 140, which is a lot. Without Jonnu Smith, like just completely remove him, I'd be at like 115. And that'd be short of play, right? Lamar, Saquon, Cup, Devontae, I all drafted. Jacobs I traded at week 6. And then everyone else on here, like I kind of just picked them up during free agency at some point. And actually, I picked a terrible lineup. I could have scored, I think, like 160 or 170 if I had put in like Judy Burrow and Jameis. So, long story short, the only thing that I would say this week that was luck was Jonnu. I'll take that. I picked him up that week. That was after 10 weeks of Cole Kmet sucking ass on my starters, and I finally said enough is enough. And Jonnu Smith, I think, had 8 points the week before, and I was like, that seems pretty good. I looked through his score history, and what I
yeah.
what I liked was that he had like almost no games where he had less than 5. Because at that point, Cole Kmet had scored me like 0 or less than 5 like multiple times. So I was like, I want someone who's at least gonna get me 5. And he had one game where he had like 18 or something. And I was like, okay, let me pick him up. Tua's back, and then yeah, he went crazy.
I mean, besides him and Achane, there's like, I mean, besides Achane, like he's been like the best pass catcher in Miami because like Tyreek Hill's just not playing well.
Don't know
I
what's
guess
going
I don't
on with
know,
Tyreek, man. I don't know what's
but
going on.
and Waddle's always like on and off. He's like very inconsistent, right? So
Yeah,
no, so can I refute?
yeah. But we'll only talk about week 11 right now.
Okay,
We'll
yeah. Well,
continue.
so
Yeah.
I'll preface for all of this. I'm not gonna say that the draft stuff is like so. This draft stuff aside, I don't think there's like luck in that per se. Like it's, I think you drafted a good team. So like the part where I think is lucky, yes, John Smith is lucky. I picked up in my league too, so I'm very happy that he's doing well around the same time that you did too. So, um, the luck where I see is like having people score like more than 20 and more than 30 like every freaking week. Like that's unreal, man. Like
I mean, Saquon's doing
Saquon is
he's having an unreal season.
it's lucky, bro. He was
El-
that's not normal. It's lucky.
okay,
It's
but
lucky,
I really had a feeling that I was like, he's gonna do extremely well on the
brother.
Eagles.
In an offense where Jalen Hurts tush pushes and they have great wide receivers and a decent tight end, like he's not trash.
Mm-hmm.
How are you telling me that Saquon has enough? There's enough in the offense for Saquon to score 30 every freaking week, bro. It's unreal. Same
Yeah.
thing with Josh Jacobs. There's like four really credible wide receivers. You have like Dobbs, Wicks, Watson, and Reed. Reed had zero catch. Sorry, it's not week 11, but he had
Yeah.
zero catches last night
Yeah.
for 0 yards,
Okay,
brother.
I'll say over
And
30. I didn't plan for that. Definitely didn't plan for that. But I went into the season thinking he's gonna be a great running back, and
dude,
he's
a
doing
great
better.
running back is
Yeah, I
fine.
know.
There's a
I was
lot
like,
of great running
no, I know,
backs,
I
bro.
know. He's doing better. He's doing better than that. Yeah.
You have like JT Gibbs, Kamara, you have Bijan. But
Yeah.
bro, the thing is like when you play fantasy, you bet on people that will be very involved in the offense.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought that your players were going to be very involved in the offense when it's so freaking crowded?
That's
Green
true.
Bay has so many wide receivers. They have decent tight ends, right? They have Tucker Craft and whatever, but like there's just so much to feed. And for some reason, you just happen to pick the people that are just feasting no matter what. And yes, they're great. They're great players, I admit. And Lamar Jackson's a great quarterback, and so is Burrow and whatever. But brother, like these position players, I cannot believe that they're just like stealing everything. Cooper Cup, bro. What
Yeah.
happened to Puka? He
Yeah.
doesn't want to eat. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, what, how would he, no one wanted to get Cup because he fell
Yeah.
to you because one injury history. He's old. Puka Cup had Puka. Oh my God, Puka Nakua had an amazing season last year in the absence of Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I guess Cooper Cup still gets all this stuff because I guess him and Stafford have great chemistry. But
Yeah.
it's like, bro, and Kyron's falling off a cliff now, and they just don't care about Kyron now that these two
Yeah.
wide receivers are gone. Bro, it's like
Yeah.
it's so lopsided. I don't need to explain. But yeah, yeah, your
So
draft is amazing.
yeah, so like I got the draft up here. I'll say Saquon was obviously. I know we talked about this on your last episode, but about the whole, you would have drafted your quarterback strategy different, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, after all that, obviously I knew I was going running back second, and at this point, like honestly, like ETN was someone that was not really on my radar. But if you look at everybody below here, the only person that I really would have taken over Saquon would have been potentially Achane or Jacobs. And Achane, I don't love Achane because he has to share reps with Mostert, so I'm always kind of worried about that because it's kind of like a David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs situation. Although Jahmyr Gibbs is somehow able to still score crazy, and I just had a
Mhm.
strong feeling about Saquon. And then when you go down to Cup, yeah, I would say that it's definitely lucky that Puka's been uninvolved this year, but even with like I drafted him knowing that Puka's really good, but Cooper Cup was a triple crown 2 years before. So it's not like he's a really good wide receiver coming back. He's the best wide receiver in the league from a year before coming back. So that was why I was just
Mhm.
like I feel like he's gonna do well, and I don't know if he'd be doing as well if Puka was also doing well. Like maybe everyone would have been feasting, or maybe not. I don't know. Um, but yeah, yeah. So that's it on the
I
draft. But
don't know, man. They're just like it's just that
the
it's very
yeah.
crowded offenses, but they're still getting theirs. And like that's a reason why people like avoid.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
we also
mean?
I would say
You
the Eagles have a super good offensive line, and we know that.
yeah, but I thought that's and but dudes it doesn't but like Saquon still gets his touchdowns and like I don't know, like I feel like usually I don't know because I don't watch the games because screw the Eagles, but it feels like they always get vultured by the tush push
And
from
that's the
Jalen
thing,
Hurts.
bro. He'd be having even more points if Jalen Hurts has the most rushing touchdowns I think in the league this year. Maybe
Or if he
Josh
just
Allen
passes
has.
the ball, or if he just passes the ball to
No,
AJ
no.
Brown,
Because no. The
and
reason Jalen gets rushing touchdowns at the 1 or 2 yard line. Like there's probably been at
yeah,
least 5 touchdowns this year where Saquon's running from like 5 plus yards out and just happens to
mhm.
get tackled at the 1. If he gets tackled at the 1, it's gonna be a QB run. Like everyone
I know, but
knows.
dude, but I'm telling you, you got some selfish quarterbacks because they have good position players, but they don't want to give them their money, man. Like
Yeah, Lamar is not as bad I think as you make him out to be. Like he's nowhere near Jalen. Jalen
Like,
is
bro, AJ Brown got 4 touchdowns this season, bro. Like
yeah.
Saquon had that. Like Josh Jacobs almost had all of that last night.
That is
Like that's
true.
insane. And AJ Brown's not a scrub either. He's in his prime. Like
Yep.
how is he not getting touches like at the goal line? That's dumb. You can pass the ball out of the 1 yard line too, and I'm about to show you in a little bit too. Then you don't have to just run it. But you have quarterbacks that are selfish and all they do is want to run the ball and get theirs. They don't want to get people paid, man.
No,
Selfish
but that's the
quarterback.
thing. Look, when it's the Ravens and it's at the 1 yard line, they give it to Derrick Henry. It's not Lamar.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the
And
just to
Joe
score
Burrow is not getting any rushing touchdowns. He's if I'm getting touchdowns with Burrow, it's because he's
he's
throwing it.
slanging it.
He's
Yeah, he's
slinging it.
slanging it. Yeah, still losing, but he's
Yeah.
slanging it.
All right, so week 12. Yeah, obliterated Prame. The standout player here that I kind of wanted to highlight. I mean, Saquon had 40, but again, like
Oh,
Saquon's.
man. You can't win. You can't win when your first those no, your quarterback and your two running backs are giving you like damn near 100 points already, man. I
Yeah.
had 90 last week. How do you can't beat that? Look, Prem had 70, man. Oh, but I mean, yeah, he didn't take
Yeah,
out
he
Bijan.
yeah he didn't
So.
take out Bijan, and I guess he got negative points from his defense. But yeah,
But
this
even if he put Jalen Warren, he was gonna get 83 points still. So
yeah
it didn't matter.
yeah, but
That's insane, brother.
yeah that
And Bucky, oh
was
my God.
so Bucky Irving. And I didn't mention this earlier about Janu, but Bucky Irving and Janu also, not only did I just pick them up randomly, I picked them up with the free agency pick. I didn't even use a waiver. So it's like it really was like no one else wanted this fucking guy. And then I was like, okay, let me pick him up. And then they've just panned out really, really well.
Yeah, I messed up there. I had him really early in the
Yeah, yeah.
season, and
That's
I
why I put
need
the
I
thank
needed
you, Jesse, because I was looking at the
I needed
history. You
space,
dropped
man.
him.
I needed space, and I was having little faith in the backfield for Tampa Bay because I think at the time when I dropped him, like there was like it was like not looking good. Like he was having like a good great. I don't know if you if you look at Bucky Irving, I think there was a part where he was kind of like not scoring as much. And then I was like, I think he's falling out of favor here. They're just not running it as much. Um, what did I have? Yeah, because he or maybe I'm lying. I
I
don't know
can
what happened, man.
I
Maybe
can
I
bring
just
it up
dropped
here
him.
real quick. I'm using that local send right now, airdropping that right to my computer.
Yeah, because like I'm looking at it right now too. He was having like his attempts weren't that much. Like he was only getting like sub 10 attempts a game. And I'm not gonna get a running back. I don't want a running back that's like getting sub 10, especially
Yeah.
if I have like I don't have that many roster spots. But I should have held on because like he had 25 last night, man.
Yeah, so
Or
can
not
you
last night, last week, or that week, 12 week 12.
can you see what I have up right now?
Oh yeah, yeah. He had 12 in week 12, but he scored a touchdown. But he's so efficient, man. Look, he runs like 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 yards.
Yeah. So it says you dropped him on September 7, which
That was a long time ago.
let's see what that was. September
I bet you that's
7.
after the Atlanta game. He scored 4 points. I was probably like, I'm over it. Maybe it was that.
That doesn't make sense. That's showing week 1. I don't know. I don't want to sidebar on that too much. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, either way, I mean, like, yeah, good for you to pick him up because,
Yeah,
like, yeah, he's gonna be like a league winner, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Um
lucky though. Lucky
lucky,
that he
I
wasn't
guess.
already on someone's roster.
Yeah. Week 13. Oh, I didn't even change the text
It's
here.
okay.
I
I
didn't get
know
a chance
it's
to
a
go.
good one though. So
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to even go through this one. So, yeah, Judy 36 points. I mean, that's crazy. But I will say Judy I've had on my team for a minute. I didn't like just pick him up. I picked him up probably like I mean, let's go back.
yeah, but still, it's a lot.
Judy's on my bench in week 11. So, I've been having him and I started him and he'd not done well for me before too. But yeah, I mean, 36 points is just crazy. But the thing is,
He was wide receiver one that week, I think.
I think he was as soon as Jameis became the starter. I think what I realized, and I think what everyone should have realized at that point was this guy's gonna throw the ball for a like he's gonna get a lot of picks, but he's gonna get a lot of touchdowns and a lot of yards. So his receivers are gonna feast.
I know that argument, and I that's why I wanted Tillman too, and that's why I grabbed Njoku. But that's another point that I was trying to make. Dude, there's so many people to feed, and
On the
like,
Browns, I don't agree. I think it's Njoku and Judy because
well,
Tillman's been injured.
Tillman was going off before he got concussed,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, but he got
You had,
injured.
but you had him too,
I had him
right?
too. Yeah,
So yeah, so it's like Tillman, is he the new wide receiver one there? They have Elijah Moore's not ass.
yeah, that's true.
not ass. He's a good wide receiver too. He's like wide receiver
Yes.
two on another team. And like Jerry Judy, is he like we don't really know because he wasn't doing great in the Broncos, but they had a terrible QB situation.
Yep.
And then they have Njoku too. So it's like who's gonna get the 30 points this week? Is it Njoku this week? Because Njoku gets like 20, like it's like high teens sometimes, like is it gonna be Tillman? Tillman had like 20 something points the first week that Jameis came on
Yeah.
full time. So it's like, bro, it's luck, man.
But one thing
Like it
about
could
Jerry
be
Judy that
and it could be 36. Like it's crazy.
yeah, 36 is too much. But one other thing I will say about Jerry Judy that I've always had him in my mind is because I remember like going leading up into the draft. I remember Shannon
Yeah,
Sharp like always talking
yeah,
about how he thought Jerry Judy was like the best receiver in that class.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
like because he always talks about him, like I have him in my mind. So I was like, oh, he's a first round pick, and like they think he's supposed to be really good, and he hasn't really like emerged. Now I don't know if this is him emerging or it's just like a one off, um, but
I
yeah,
know. I think Jameis just finds who he wants, that
yeah.
whoever's getting open and what the matchup is looking like, I guess.
Yeah. But dude, I don't even watch Tampa Bay games, so I have literally no concept of reference of why Bucky Irving is because he's still technically RB2, isn't he? Rashad
No,
White isn't Rashad
I
White
don't,
RB1?
dude, not if he's running for 25 times. So, I mean,
Yeah, maybe this
I
was the
mean,
game he finally got more snaps. But I think for the majority of the season he's been RB2 and or three.
yeah, but even if like season before this, like Bucky Irving was a very highly talked about person to grab late.
Oh, okay.
I think people had an idea that Rashad White wasn't very efficient, and he like ended the season badly last year. That they picked up Bucky Irving, and I guess people that watch Oregon was like, "This guy's the real deal." So it looks like he's going to take his job. So
Yeah.
same thing
So
with Tyrone Tracy too.
yeah. So I guess if I were to summarize if I feel like I'm lucky or not, um, Jonnu Smith, I definitely say I would feel lucky. Saquon, like he's doing something unreal, but like that was the top running back I selected, so I expected a lot from him. I didn't expect this, but I bet on him for a reason. Um, and then Judy, like I don't know, I don't even like this could be just a one off for the whole season. We don't really know, but if Judy starts going ham for the rest of the season, okay, Bucky Irving, luck, maybe 50-50 between luck and skill, because like I said, like he was the one I picked. No one else picked him up, and they could have, and now he panned out. Um, yeah, I guess that's my case. Let us know in the chat or in the comments if you agree with Jesse. You think that I'm lucky. Oh, Jesse's frozen. Oh, hey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. But I was about to text you.
Yeah, you were
I
frozen.
wasn't sure which one.
Where did you hear me last?
You were talking about Bucky Irving.
Okay, basically I was just making my case that Jonnu Smith I definitely feel lucky on. Judy, I feel like it's too early to even say because like it could have just been a one-off. We don't really fully know yet if he's gonna go ham. Bucky Irving, I think is 50-50 on luck or not. Because I picked him. I chose and and he's panning out really well. So if you want to make your closing argument on why I'm lucky, go
Yeah,
for it.
my closing argument is I don't think you drafted poorly. I think you drafted well, but they are over. I don't think you could have expected the over projections by like almost double. Like I don't even know how much Saquon is projected every week, but I'm pretty sure it's probably close to damn double that he's like half of what he actually ends up scoring. And then like even like what is it? Josh Jacobs, you make that trade for Achane, like that's like you have players that are in crowded offenses that are for some reason feasting when it should be evenly spread. I don't know how it's not. And like I think people are suffering. The people that have the other skill players are probably suffering. Like Joji has AJ Brown. You have Devontae, look, he's playing like shit on fantasy at least. What is it? And like people that have Jaden Reed, like Shin, he traded for him. And, like they're just trash. Like I just think it's like I don't know what's happening in real life because I don't watch those games, but I guess they just don't like to distribute the ball. It's like they just feed one person, they let the quarterback get theirs, and they let the running back or whoever get theirs. And you just happen to have those people, which is it's lucky that you have those people that they chose in real life to feed those people. And I think the people that you picked up, Johnny Smith and Bucky Irving, the luck aspect here is that you were lucky that they were there. Because in most leagues they'd probably be gone. Like I had Bucky Irving and then my dumbass dropped him too early. And it happens. Like people like you end up like dropping people too early or whatever, and then someone picks him up and you're like, ah, I wish I had like kept him, whatever. So that's lucky that he was still there. Yeah, man. And that's and just look at your PF compared to everyone else's, man. It's unreal. Like it's almost like you like sold your soul to like a car or
To
like
Antonio
a
Brown.
dude, it's insane how much you're scoring. You can't beat people that score 172, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. Even if your team performs the bad, like I don't know if you know that thing when Sleeper that shows you like your max PF that week if
Yeah.
you put the perfect lineup. If you look at, I'm not gonna bet money, but I'd have to like lean on the fact that if you look at Shins, even if he did the most, he still wouldn't be close, bro. You'd probably
No.
still beat him 30. It's
Yeah.
insane. Like that's luck, man. Which I admit, fantasy is luck. There is a lot of luck implicated and integrated into fantasy. Like, and you just know that because like that's what makes it fun. Because like even if you're like really boo-boo and you don't know anything about football, you could still like be part of it and you can like still compete. You might not win, you could win, but
Hmm.
at least it's still fun that way. But and that's why we all love fantasy. But yeah, you're lucky, man. That's my argument.
All right, so let us know in the chat in the comments if you agree with Jesse or. And the thing is, I'm not saying flat out I'm not lucky. I think my skill is a little bit like there's still a decent amount of skill, but also luck for sure too.
There's skill. I'm not
Yeah.
going to discredit you. There's skill, but there's a lot of luck in there too.
All right, so this is where I put some time into that I think you're gonna find funny. But I did some slides here on the playoff picture.
All right.
So the first one we have is eliminated from the playoffs. I got a picture, and if you're not watching visually, this might be a time where you want to see it just because it's gonna be funny. But I got a picture of the Three Stooges. There's been three people that are sadly eliminated. First up on here we got Joji.
Hey, that's that Naruto theme.
Next we got Chase.
Okay,
I should have put their records on there. Maybe I'll do that on the edit. And then last we got Prame.
that's funny.
Yeah. So sadly, these three are eliminated from the playoffs, and there's no
Give them
punishment for last place.
give them a salute.
Pour
Well
one
played this
out.
team. Pour it out.
um, at least now they don't have to worry about a punishment. At least I guess they can take the rest of the year in grace, or they could maybe try to screw someone else over.
Yeah, I
In this
heard.
last week if they can do that. Next I have in the hunt. So the first one I have on here is Jesse.
Bro, I
So,
was tired.
second one I got over here is Shin. The third we got is Wade. And lastly we got Nathan.
That's funny.
All right. And yeah,
Funny that we don't have like a true updated picture of Wade. So it looks like you just took like the screenshot from your
yeah,
vlog.
I did. That's what I did for him and Chase. I was
Uh,
looking through the pictures from the bachelor party, and I couldn't find a picture of Chase that was like on his face. And then there wasn't a picture of Wade, so then I was like, oh, let me just go back and get one from the vlog.
there.
All right, and then clinched. We got Tyler,
Nice.
oh, Mason. That's a really bad picture.
I don't know why did he share that in the shared album?
Cause he's weird like that, bro.
What is oh like is this an accident?
It was not an accident. And I hate that it's the oldest picture, so it's always at the top when you open the shared album. Yeah, and then me.
Yeah,
uh,
that picture.
I took that was the picture after I did the lucky rabbit or whatever you call it.
Yeah. White
Yeah,
Rabbit, I think.
yeah. Um, and I was trying to look at like the PFs too, because there's a little bit of nuance between like this image on who's gonna end up making it, because I think that I think 3 of them have a record one better than you, and then I think
Yeah,
you're one less. So
but
if
I have to
you,
win to even matter.
yeah, you have to win, but I think you have to win by such a large margin also.
Yeah, I
Um,
have to win, and either Nathan, Wade, and Shin have to lose, but I'd have to like win by a lot because I think
yeah.
they're actually pretty close. So all of them are like in the 15-10s to 15-20s. I'm at 14-20. So they pretty much have to like not score anything for me to have a chance.
So you're basically eliminated.
Okay, I'm not officially limited, but I'm basically limited, yes.
Yeah. If we go back actually to, I should have included this on those slides as well. That would have been helpful. But yeah. Um, so yeah, one of
Yeah.
them would have to, they'd have to lose. I guess who's the
Man,
closest in PF? Shin is beating you by
and
40 points, or a little bit less than 40 points.
oh, sorry, I was looking at PA. Yeah. Sorry, it's a little closer. Yeah. Shin's the only one that could theoretically go
Potentially
over.
pass.
Yeah, but I'd have to score a lot. He'd have to score
Oh,
less.
wait.
And
Actually, no, I just realized something.
hmm,
Chase could still make the playoffs.
how?
His PF is 1450. Cuz remember the
Yeah,
six,
the playoffs start next week. He's 4-9 right now.
no,
Then
but the rules are whoever the sixth place goes to whoever has the highest remaining PF.
wait, when? Since when is this?
Yes.
Is that normal?
No. That's a
Wait, is that a sleeper um setting?
I don't know if it's a setting or if I have to just manually make it happen.
Bro,
Um
what?
yeah. I'm 99.9% sure I communicated this at the beginning. Um
Uh,
but I hope so. And if it's somewhere in one of these podcast episodes, then I don't know if I'm gonna find
do
it.
not remember. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, so actually
Oh,
Chase could clutch this up because he's only 3 behind Shin.
mm,
So it's almost kind of like a 1v1 between him and Shin, but then I guess if you were to go crazy, if you had a week like me, you could end up getting into the playoffs.
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
AMON RAW should have got me something, bro. He gave me nothing.
Sorry, man. But that actually makes
It's
things
okay.
really interesting. So I feel bad now. Chase got put on the Three Stooges, but he's not technically on there yet.
Bro, I did not know that little caveat to the
Yeah.
six.
What do you think about that? It basically helps out like one you don't like it. It helps
I
out
mean,
like
it's okay, but I
the
get it. I get it. I get
yeah,
it. I get the rationale behind it, but
yeah. So the rationale is
I,
like if you got really unlucky with playing people that just scored really high,
yeah,
you're still like you're
yeah.
never out of the playoffs essentially if your team has been performing.
It's a fair argument, but
Yeah.
the reason why I'm shaking my head is because it puts
That's
it where like I'm not even like now I'm not because
well,
I'm
not really because the thing is Chase is a little bit below Shin. So for you to beat Shin,
I have to be chased too.
yeah, you have to beat Chase too.
I'll do it on the way essentially. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah,
do it
yeah.
on the way, kind of.
Mm,
Now, if you beat Shin but not Chase, that would kind of suck. Because he's in the mix too. But
Bro, I
yeah,
need Joji not to pay attention, bro. Don't tell him anything. That's his fault. He has McLaurin, Andrews, and Eckler on bye, and they're all in his starting lineup. I need to win. And Shin's projected to lose because it looks like Tyler had he had Demo last night and Tucker Craft, and they outperformed their projections, it looks
I'm not
like.
gonna
So
say anything, but I'm gonna release the podcast episode. So if they watch the
hey,
podcast episode in time, then they'll get the reminder.
he won't watch. He's too busy, man. Dude, he got a lot on his plate. He's traveling.
That's
You
true.
got you got
But the
things to worry
holidays are
about.
coming up, so he might actually. But usually the holidays are busy up until like right when like Christmas hits.
Yeah, no, he's busy. He's
Yeah,
busy. Please
that's
don't check
funny.
the lineup, bro.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about your matchup with Joji?
Not really. I mean, yeah, he just has three people on bye and they're all in. And yeah, I'm kind of scared. I hope I win. I think I have like Cortland Sutton's been my league winner, even though it's not gonna matter. But him and Bo Nix have been been a good stack I wasn't expecting to have. And yeah, but they're both on bye this week, so I had
Yeah.
to pick up Aiden O'Connell, and hopefully him and Jacoby Myers can kind of do the thing.
Yep.
But I don't know.
So I'll have mine up now. Let me get that up. Sorry, Alphonse jumped onto my desk. So it kind of threw me off. I'm gonna go through this kind of quick. So Josh Jacobs already played.
Mm.
One of the things we didn't talk about earlier, but Jesse was complaining about how like he got basically just touchdowns and didn't really have that much efficiency, which I can't argue with. I mean, I think his
Dude,
yards per
just
carry,
look at it, man.
his yards per carry, I
He's
think was like 3 point something, which is not great.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
ridiculous, man.
But
I
I
mean, I
did.
love the guy because he's Filipino too, but my, my God, bro. He's 3.67 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. That's insane.
Yeah.
He was projected to get 13. He got 25.
So my only and I saved this for this slide because I figured we'd talk about it now, but my only thing to respond to Jesse potentially claiming that Josh Jacobs is luck is that when the trade first originally was happening, I asked Jesse, "What do you think about this
Yeah,
trade?"
it's a fair trade. I gave you that.
So here's a text message exactly I think perfectly kind of sums it up that me asking Jesse what he thinks, because I was I'm not bullshitting, I was very on the fence and I was slightly leaning no, just because in general like my philosophy is if I trade someone away and like they go ham, like that would affect me more in a negative way so much more than like a trade being positive for me. um and so I will say that my conversation with you did kind of push me over the edge to do it. I did it. And then I also wanted to kind of show a little bit of analysis on how that trade actually went. And it's funny that you say that it's really fair because that box on Josh Jacobs basically the box that what's in the box is the tenure that I have him for, and the
Uh,
box above is the tenure that Wade had him.
uh,
And if you look at it, you can see there's a lot more yellow in Wade's and there's a lot more green in mine. Um and you can see in the text message I said like I expected him that he would get more touchdowns. And if you look over on the touchdown column, you can also see like in the entire time Wade had him, he only got one touchdown. And then in the time I've had him, he's had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 touchdowns. And it's like so it's like, yeah, is it luck? But like that is what I expected to happen. But I didn't expect it to be 10. You know, maybe like 5. I would have been like, okay, I was right. But I was right like on steroids. Um, so yeah, and then I did a point total too, which is actually kind of interesting too. So if you look at the points, Wade had 66 points from Josh Jacobs. I had 59.25 from Achane before the trade.
mm,
Now the caveat there though is that Achane had his bye in week 6. So my lower point total was on less games. So the points per
mm,
game was higher, but the overall points
mm.
was less because he had his bye.
Yeah.
Then post trade, Wade brought in 123 points from Achan, and I've brought in 124 points from Josh Jacobs, bringing our total is only actually between in 6 points. So
Mm-hmm.
Wade actually has more points total than I do from this trade. If I had kept Achan, I would have had more points, I think. Yes, if I kept Achan, I would have had less points than or sorry,
Mm.
more points than Wade. More actually, I'm tripping now, dude. I don't even know. But basically, it's pretty close.
Yeah, yeah. It has been. I have H in my other league. He's been
Yeah,
playing well.
it's been pretty close. So
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even I can't like say that like I got super lucky either because it would have been the same kind of even if I kept Achan.
No, but the thing is, I wouldn't have said that Adrian's lucky though. I said that I said the
Yeah,
trade's
yeah, yeah,
fair.
yeah,
You're just lucky that Josh Jacobs is not scoring like 12 points a week, which is typically like a quarter. A running back will give you like 10 to 15, and that's like a decent week. You know, it's a
yeah.
consistent like war. So I said on the text like he'll give you 10 to 15, I'm sure. But bruh, 25 or what I can. It's kind of small, but like 25, what I can.
28.6,
Dude, that's
24.6.
insane. Like I have his actual like on here on mine. I can see I'm looking on the web version.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You have the Houston game. He was projected 12. He got 17. Projected 13. Got 25. Projected 13. Got 11. That's fair. 1321, 1328, 1419, 1324.
Yeah.
Bruh. Over like, and these projections are kind of shit, but they don't come from nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some science and some math and some like analytics behind it, but like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. He's playing really well, and I think they're just feeding him like crazy over there. So props to him though.
Cool. So I think that's the update on the league. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and next we're gonna go ahead and get into the stand Discord with us portion.
Let's do it. I like this
Um,
part.
so but we're one of the things we're gonna do is we're gonna play Madden, and I'll save that for like the end. Um, there's another thing I wanted to do that I kind of had the idea of during the podcast, and so you haven't told you about that yet. But there was something else at the beginning that I thought we said we were gonna save to the very end. Do you remember what it was?
No.
Okay, that's no worries. That's on
Oh,
me. So yeah, I don't remember what it is, but it's okay. We have the other thing. So when earlier in the show, you kind of mentioned how we did everything that we wanted to do at the bachelor party, and you kind of went through those things. The other one thing that we didn't get to do was have the anime quiz that I had kind of put together. So
oh, Lord.
the way that that was going to work was I was going to have the whole group watch a few different videos of different moments essentially, but they're all fights.
All right.
And the idea was that they would have to, as teams, figure out like a ranking between 1 through 5 of what my favorite were, and the
Mm-hmm.
parameters were going to be like animation, but like in reference to the time that it came out in. So it's kind of hard to tell because you may if you've never watched the anime, you don't know when it came out, but you can kind of tell from the way it looks visually, like, oh, this looks newer or this looks older, and then you can kind of base like on that like how cool it looks. So the animation
All
is one, the music's set two, three is kind of like a, I don't know, it's kind of a BS way to consider it, but like nostalgia. So I guess like how nostalgic you would expect me to be for it. And then
right.
four is like plot, relevance to the plot of the story.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then that probably is another one that I can't think of. I think that's probably it though. So those are kind of the parameters. So I had it kind of built in a way where if you had watched all these anime, you may not necessarily actually have that much of an advantage over someone who didn't. Um,
It's subjective.
yeah, because it's subjective and it's based on like how you know me, essentially. So
Right.
I wanted to show you at least one because this is the anime that I've been trying to get Shin to watch the most or read. But this dude made a promise to me that he would read it, and it's been like over I think 1 or 2 years, and he still hasn't read it. And then Tyler and I were talking about it in another episode too. So I want to I don't we don't have to go through all of them because that'll take some time. But I at least want to show you this one,
Yeah, let's do it.
and maybe one more and kind of get your thoughts.
Okay.
And we'll kind of
And
go from there.
to be clear, like I don't really watch anime, so this will be interesting
Yes.
for me.
Okay, so I need
Okay, I'm
to.
liking the animation style already just from this like still.
Okay, and I might have to cut this section out of the.
You're gonna get copyrighted.
I think I might actually be okay.
If you
Um,
just do the clip, I think you might be okay.
yeah. So we'll see. Now this is
Yep.
from an anime called Vinland Saga. It's like a historical fiction. So everything in it is based on, I'm gonna put in air quotes, no powers, because like in anime there's always gonna be something that's like kind of supernatural, but like there's not a power system in the show. It's all based on real people.
Mhm.
It follows the main character whose name is Thorfinn Karl Sefni, who's a real person in history, and then it also follows a little bit of Leif Erikson. So I'm sure you're familiar with his name from like the SpongeBob episodes, but also maybe you know
Yeah,
some history
that's
too.
the
But
only reason why.
do you know like what he's famous for actually? So
No.
I don't know if you know this, but like we were taught in elementary school that like the Spaniards discovered the Americas, and like
Mm,
there's that Amerigo Vespucci guy, and he's the one who like first wrote a map or something, and that's why they named it America. Well,
yeah.
that's actually not true. So we found out much later that the Vikings actually made it to the Americas like way earlier, and they made it and they settled, but maybe they died off and or something like that. We don't know, or maybe they went back. We don't really know. But basically, long story short, the Vikings actually made it to America first. And Leif Erikson was, I think, the one that we credit for that. So they're kind of explorers, but then it's a Viking setting. It follows some real characters, but then like literally everything else that happens is all made up. It's just like a cool fictional story that takes place within actual historical events. And it's some other historical stuff too that it gets into is like the wars between the Welsh and the English. Like that stuff is also historically accurate, so that's cool too. There's like a battle in the anime that's an actual battle that happens, and it's just like again. But yeah, other than that, I think I'll go ahead and just hit play, and then we're not gonna watch the whole thing. I'm gonna stop it halfway, and then we'll kind of see what you think.
All right.
Let me know if the audio is good.
I can't hear it. Oh, no, I can hear it. I can hear it now.
Okay.
貴様が首領か。全能のオーディンの名において、貴様に決闘を申し込む。貴様が勝てば好きにするがいい。俺が勝ったなら速やかに兵を引け。断るというのなら、貴様はわずか12人の奴隷を得るために、その3倍の部下を失うことになる。
質問してもいいかな。なぜ俺が首領だと思う？
Yeah, it looks good. Reiner.
匂いだ。
さすがだね。いいだろう。この決闘を受けよう。オラフの子アシェラッド、オーディンの名において誓う。いや。俺もね、あんたから匂いを感じるんだよ。俺と同じ匂いだ。ヨウムのトロルよ。
俺を知って。アシュラッド、貴様、妻子はいるか？
いや。
そうか。始めよ
う。ずいぶん無造作に間合いを詰めてくる。
Whoa. This is trash.
浅い。
Oh.
アシャラットにかなうやつなんざいねえぜ。父上。かわされた必殺の間合いを。もう奇襲は効かねえだろうな。こんな辺境までわざわざ足を運んだ甲斐があったぜ。なかなかの男がいるじゃねえか。取るぞ。
The little kid is.
Oh. Who am I supposed to be rooting for? This guy right here?
Whoever you want.
許せ、アシュラッド。手加減はできん。
あえて
This
嬉し
guy
い
looks
ぜ。
bad,
取る
so I
ぞ。
think I'm gonna cheer for the dark-haired guy. Oh, he's strong though. Oh.
Shimata. 奴の狙いは俺の剣か。これ以上は受けきれねえ。ってことは、奴の剣も来た。
Oh shoot, dude, he's screwed.
狙いが読めりゃ剣筋も読めるぜ。来た、大振り。
Oh.
はまった。俺が油断して大振りするのを待って。
All right, that's it.
All right. And am I supposed to rank it? Like, how many of these were there? 5.
So there were originally 8.
Mm.
There's one that's super long. So if you wanted to go through kind of and do like a mini one right now, we could. And they're a
No,
lot of them are
it's not.
not that long. Or we could
Oh,
just
really?
yeah. Like this was
Maybe
a
show me
9-minute video, but I only showed you 4 minutes of it.
show me like another one, and then how about I try to figure out which one I think you like best out of those two.
Okay,
That way we can do like a
I
mini
think
ranking. Show me one
that's
more.
fair. I think that's fair. Um, I'll show you. I'll show you one more. I gotta figure out which one I think you like the most. I think I know. It'll be a little bit longer, but I think you'll like it. But I guess give me your thoughts first on that one.
Mm, it's not my taste, man. You know how I like the monsters. I want some like broken terrain. I want some like stuff going on. Like a sword fight's kind of like beyond for me. I mean, it
Okay.
was cool. It was cool. I think it'd be cooler if it was like in real life. If it was like real life actors. It seemed kind of like low. Like my heart wasn't beating. Like it was kind of like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I can't tell who the good guy is because I don't know the story. I don't know who's who.
Yeah.
So I was cheering for the guy that ended up winning though. The guy that with the black hair. Is he the good guy?
That's the thing. It's one of those shows where it's very up for debate. Like, if is he a good
Oh,
guy? Is he not? I mean, I think the blue guy definitely is good. The other guy is the one I think is more up for debate. Is he good? Is he not?
mhm.
But I think you would actually not like the guy in blue like very
Oh,
much at all. He kind of like
that's all.
his philosophy is that you should not like you should be able to avoid violence at all costs. Um
Oh, dang, bro. That's why you
yeah,
kill him out.
yeah, so like that's he has that that aspect that you don't like.
Mhm.
But I like him a lot. So I think you actually would prefer the character that won or sorry, that
Mhm.
didn't win. But they're both like integral characters to the story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think you'd like it. It's the same studio that did Attack before like the first part of it before they got
Yeah,
acquired.
I told you I like this still because I saw the way that people looked. I was like, it's kind of, and I made a comment like this
Yeah.
guy kind of looks like a Reiner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
it's Studio Wit, so it's the same studio. And like the nice thing though is that when Wit got acquired by Mappa, when Attack did its next like seasons after that, like they changed a lot of stuff about the animation
yeah,
style. But for
yeah.
this anime, their season 2 was after the acquisition, but they kept the style exactly the same. So
I wish they did that with Attack too, man. They kind of
I
look.
did I did too, but the problem was they didn't have the money. They didn't have the money to do it the right way because um drawing titans in not CG takes a lot more effort than like people. Is kind of
Mhm.
what I understand about it. I'm obviously not like a complete expert, but I keep kind of in the loop a little bit about that kind of stuff. So I mean I like for the longest time like I've always hated on CG and anime and like it's like the thing like it's my biggest pet peeve. And when it
Yeah.
comes to Attack, like I feel like the Titans look way worse. But so much other things they did a really great job on. So I try not to like knock it too much. But yeah, same studio. If you're ever bored, it's on Netflix. And yeah,
I'm like
if you're
99.
traveling for work.
I'll be very blunt. I'm probably never gonna watch it, but thank you for the recommendation. I
Okay,
really appreciate
this one I think you will like a lot more. So this one, I mean, you've heard of this one definitely
it.
before,
Goods?
huh?
Is this goods?
No, not goods. Um,
Oh, FMA or F? Yeah.
oh, what the hell? Yeah, so we got a very famous clip from Full Alchemist Brotherhood. Do you know anything about the show at all? The only thing I'll tell you is that it's set in I forgot what you call it, but it's kind of like when they create a fictional world that's so closely based on a real one, but it's not the real one. It's kind of based
Mm,
on like I don't know. Honestly, it's like kind of awkward because I think it's like pre-World War II, like Germany,
Okay.
but they're also kind of shown as good and bad. So I'm not sure. Japan has some weird stuff when it comes to like Nazi era stuff because they were on the wrong side of history there. So you'll see some anime and like there's even some stuff in Attack that's like kind of questionable with that, but there's this discourse about that online. I don't really want to get into, but imagine that you're seeing like a Germany in like 1930s or 20s or whatever. That's kind of the vibe. But it's a fictional world, country called Amestris.
I like the name of the country.
こいつは私の獲物だ。
わかった。じゃあここは任せて俺たちは先に。
誰が通っていいって言ったんだよ。お前らには北でのお礼をたっぷりしな。
この私の前で他のやつと喋っている余裕があるのか。ベラベラと回転のいいその下にはよほどの油が乗っていると見える。よく燃えるじゃないか、塩ビ。
注意。本当に二人だけで言って、エドワード君。なんとかしてみせるわ。だけど。
行け、エドワード・エルリック。お前にはやるべきことがあるはずだ。
ほら行くぞ、エド。
ちょっと。
大佐なら大丈夫だ。ホモンクルスなんぞひとひねりにしてくれるって。
そういう問題じゃねえんだよ。
え？何のこった？
そう、ずっとヒューズの敵を追ってたんだ。美しい友情だね。
下がっていろ、注意。
その美しい友情に敬意を表して本気で相手してやるよ。でもこの体手加減が効かないからな。どうなっても知らん。
眼球内の水分が沸騰する気分はどうだ。想像を絶する痛みだろう。わざわざ的を大きくしてくれるとは。でかければ勝てるとでも思ったか、バカ。立て、化け物。さっさと再生しろ。死ぬまでその苦しみを繰り返してやる。
そうだ、そうだよ。こいつはラストを焼き殺した男だ。
ここだ、エンビー。出てこなければさらに大爆発をぶちかますぞ。
よう、ロイ。
所詮人間混乱してろ。何のためらいもなく焼くのか。
ヒューズは死んだ。もういない。貴様の行為は火に油を注ぐだけだ。愚かしい。大火力は自分のそばでは使わないと思ったか。あいにくピンポイントで狙える私の技を見くびるな。
大佐、命令に背きます。
また逃げたか。
Oh, it's a he. Oh my gosh, I thought that envy person's a girl.
They're actually kind of genderly ambiguous,
Oh, okay.
if I recall correctly.
犯だぞ、注意。
すみません。でも黙って待っているわけには。
Who's gonna die?
エンビーは
見失った。ここはまるで迷路だ。私のそばを離れるなよ、注意。来たからには手伝ってもらう。何の真似だ、注意。誰に向かって銃を突きつけている？
誰に？笑わせないで。二人っきりの時、大佐は私のことリザって呼ぶのよ。ち、あんたらそういう仲かよ。嘘よ。引っかかってくれてありがとう、エンビー。あなたはここで倒れてちょうだい。
That's not moving the boom.
バカバカ打ちすぎだ。ボロ雑巾にして大佐の大佐。
Dude, this envy person's so trash. He's getting ripped up so bad. But I feel like I don't know, but it kind of seems like this envy person was with those other people that walked into that cave, the tunnel, and they seem like the good people. I don't know.
No. Envy's the only. Envy's on a team on their own.
私の大切な部下に何をする？
I thought they like left envy to go take care of this person.
No. They left him to take care of Envy.
注意。
Oh, got it.
私が片付けると言ったはずだぞ。
クソ人間が見下してんじゃん。
What are you doing at now? Fire baby.
Alright, that's it.
Alright, yeah, that was a lot cooler than the other one.
Yeah, I mean, this
think
one
you
probably jives more with your interests a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you liked this one better. It was more epic. That was kind of annoying though, because I was like, why don't you just like finish this person off? But the person kept running away. But that was kind of, it felt like uneven. Like it wasn't like what? Yeah, it just felt like he was messing with him or her the whole time, and yeah, like the other person had like no chance. I thought the other person turning into that big green monster was like going to give them a chance, but it was so trash. It was all for nothing.
I will say it's a little it's a little spoilery for sure. The other one I think I did in a way where it's really not spoilery, but this one it kind of is because I mean you're just kind of I don't know. I don't want to even spoil more if you ever do watch it, but I kind of put this one in because I figure it's one of those things where it's like if you haven't seen this anime by this point, you're not gonna watch it in either way. So I was like, I'd rather put something kind of fleeky in anyways. But the reason that it's really one-sided, that's kind of like I don't know how to describe it, but like in terms of the storyline and the plot, like this was a very gratifying and satisfying conclusion to this part of the story. The fact that it was this one-sided and like it wasn't even close, like kind of makes it even better. Because
Envy like messing with people a lot.
Yeah, Envy was doing a lot of bad shit, and like also like no one was like keeping them in check at all, like to any degree until he came in.
Out of your, so was I right? You like this better than the other one?
Yeah, so yeah, this one it ranks higher to me for sure. But it's probably not for the reasons that you would expect. Because like animation wise, I like the other five better. Music is probably close to the same. This one's probably more nostalgia. But the thing is like this is my second favorite anime of all time, so that kind of factors that in more. And
do
then
you Oh, sorry, go on.
And then I was like, this character also. I think that's one of the things I also didn't mention earlier is that like who's involved in the fight, like that kind of will affect how much I like it as well too, and like how much I like those characters. And he's probably my third favorite character in the show.
And in your other 8 options, did you have like any attack on there?
I did.
Did you have like Reiner versus like Attack Titan versus what was it?
Try to guess. It's my favorite fight from Attack on Titan.
Was it whenever Levi was fighting I forgot his name, the guy that raised him.
The guy that raised him.
Oh
Oh
no,
no,
you,
not that one.
you like the ape
Yeah, the
Titan.
Beast Titan.
Beast Titan, yeah. Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was, oh man. That music is crazy on that
yeah,
one, bro.
yeah. But
Oh
that
man.
actually is below this one. This one is number 2.
Oh, so that one's 3.
That one's number 3. Yeah,
Oh man, that one's sick, man.
yeah,
Yeah, especially like doing
yeah.
like all over, man. Oh man. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the one. No, they had like the
Yeah, versus Kenny Squad. I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's really cool. The animation in that is definitely better. It's hard to beat, but I feel like the emotional weight of the other one is just too good.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have never. I'm not gonna watch it. Sorry, brother.
It's all good, man. Maybe there's a chance. There's always a chance.
There's always a chance. I'm not 99% sure.
Yeah.
So I said 99%. I said like 9 out of 10 or 99% sure, whatever I said.
All right. So, I mean, Shin also hasn't said anything, so I think it.
He did.
Oh, did he?
He said something.
Let me see what he
But he hasn't
said.
looked at my. He said how we looking, and he never. I said something back. He
He
never
said before
responded.
10, and then he said 9:45, and then he said how he looking.
But
Oh
yeah, he
yeah, he
never
hasn't
looked.
seen it.
He never looked at what I
Um,
said. So,
let's go ahead and stop. I'll stop the recording here, and then
yeah.
we'll pick up with either Madden, or if we don't, because we're playing, then this might be the end too.
All right.
So,
All right.
if this is the end, see you everyone.
Bye.